This week on Let's Fish TV, I'm on Fort Gibson Lake. You know, Fort Gibson Lake is just southeast of Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's got a lot of really nice bass in it. And today, we're gonna target them midsummer, a really tough time of year to fish, with topwaters and worms and jigs, and hopefully put a couple of really nice bass in the boat for you. You know one thing about it, Let's Fish TV is on the air right now.
That is a fish.
Oh man, look at this.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that. Woo!
This is Let's Fish.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Fish TV. I'm your guest host, Andrew Upshaw. We're here on Fort Gibson Lake. You know, Fort Gibson Lake's about 20,000 acres, just southeast of Tulsa, Oklahoma, about an hour's drive, not too bad at all. You know, today we're gonna be targeting largemouth bass. You know, there's a lot of really nice bass in Fort Gibson that has giant bass in this lake. And today we're gonna be targeting them in a lot of variety of techniques. We'll also have this week's fishing reports from your insider reporters. And today we're fishing a really special boat. This is a low 198 aluminum bass boat. This thing is loaded to the brim. Let's go ahead and get this thing launched, get it in the water, get it set up. I'm gonna toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hello, these Salooner tables are predicting fair game fish activity throughout both days this weekend. Peak game fish activity begins at 10:01 on Saturday and 10:53 Sunday morning. Best evening action will begin at 10:28 Saturday and 11:14 on Sunday night. Depending on where you are, the sun will rise around 7 o'clock and set around 7:54, and evenings will feature a moon that is 81% visible. Stay with us. We've got fishing reports from across the area coming right up. Plus, Bassmaster Elite Angler Mark Menendez stops by to answer your Ask the Pro question. Back in a bit.
This week we're on Fort Gibson Lake. You know, today the conditions couldn't be better. You know, we're gonna have high sun, it's gonna be hot, we've got a little bit of breeze blowing, and that's exactly what you want in the summertime. You don't want those cold front days in the summer. You want to be hot and sticky because that's what those fish are used to, and that's when they bite the best. Hopefully we'll put a couple of those really nice fish in the boat. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and toss a commercial break. Next time you see me, I'm gonna have a fish on.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by MotorGuide's Tour Pro, cable steer motor with GPS anchor. WAYPOINT Marine, the Gulf Coast's leading saltwater boating specialist. Strike King, Taiwan On, and by Low Boats. Welcome to Low Country.
Look how fat that fish is, man. What a great fish. Caught him on the Thunder Cricket, Strike King Thunder Cricket. Oh, a nice one right there. Ooh, check out that fat bass. Whew, whew. Goodness gracious, look at that one. Welcome to Fort Gibson Lake. Look how fat that fish is, man. What a great fish. Caught him on the Thunder Cricket, a Strike King Thunder Cricket. Let's get this fish back in the water real quick. You know, the midsummer time, you know, can be a really tough time, but you know, the one thing about it, fish care is super important. I'm gonna get this fish back real fast. You know, one thing I did, man, is sometimes in this hot time of summer, is sometimes those fish don't want to come up and eat a bait, you know, and what I mean by that is eat a topwater bait. So that's when I turn to a bait that I have a supreme amount of confidence in, and that is a Strike King Thunder Cricket. The Thunder Cricket's a vibrating jig, 3/8 ounce in size, and the thing I was doing right here is I was kind of pitching it around docks. You know, this time of year those fish like to suck up underneath those ends of those docks and target bait fish, and in this particular area that I'm in has a ton of shad. That's why I went with that white Thunder Cricket, and if you notice, it has a white blade on it. You know, the one thing about it, first thing in the morning, I like throwing that white bladed Thunder Cricket, and it's the main reason is because I don't really want that flash. I want something that really stands out. You know, that blade really works well. That shiny blade works really well when you have the sun out. Well, we don't really have the sun out quite yet. That's when that white blade really shines. You know, skipping it up and around these docks, you're definitely gonna catch some really nice bass. And you know, one thing about it, I gotta get back to fishing because I want to catch another one.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Dragonfire Tools. They use the best materials, the best construction. They make the best workbenches, period. Dragonfire Tools. Now this week we're going to talk a little bit about the heat in fishing. You know, we're seeing some of the highest water temperatures of the year, some lakes being in the 90s. That makes for sluggish fish. But you know what? You can avoid that by fishing some of our rivers. Your water temperatures will be much cooler and the fish are much more active this time of year. Look at the Guadalupe and you can catch the Guadalupe bass. That's the state fish of Texas, and everybody ought to do that at least once in their lifetime. Take some light spinning gear, light 6-pound test line, and use small rooster tails in a variety of colors until you settle on what the fish are biting. Now on the Brazos River, you'll want to catch bass, and you're going to use your standard bass gear there, maybe 15-pound test max, because you're not going to catch a lot of big trophy bass, but you can catch a lot of fish. That's been this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Dragonfire Tools. Be sure and check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, he ate me right at the boat. Man. Another nice one right here, guys. Ooh. You got to take your time when you hook these fish really close to the boat. Sometimes they don't get the bait as good as you want them to get. Ooh, check that one out. Got him on a KVD 1.5. You know, when all else fails and you can't seem to catch a fish, that KVD 1.5 sure puts them in the boat. Another nice bass. Look at all those spots on him. You know, that's really a good sign of a healthy spawn, from what I've been told. And you know, nobody really knows what those spots really mean. I'm gonna get this fish back real quick. Just caught that bass on a KVD 1.5. You know, the first fish I caught today was on a thunder cricket. You know, and I kind of wanted to keep the same color option, you know, that shad color. I feel like those fish are eating shad first thing in the morning. And this is a brand new color from Strike King. This is actually Tennessee Shad 2.0. Definitely one of my favorite new colors from Strike King. But you know, the 1.5, the history of the 1.5, you know, if you watch Kevin Van Dam at Lake Chattahoochee down in South Louisiana, he won the Bassmasters Classic throwing that bait. And just one thing about it, you know, the 1.5 is so versatile. You can fish it from 1 foot to 5 foot and everywhere in between, fishing around rock and wood, you know, and that's the thing about it. It deflects around and you get strikes just based off reeling this thing around cover. You know, whether it's rock, wood, laydowns, whatever it may be. But, you know, today I was fishing it on a little transition where the rock kind of fell off into the water. Fish ate it right at the boat. And that was one thing I really wanted to key in on, is you saw how I took my time with that. So a lot of times with a square bill or a moving bait, sometimes those fish will track it all the way back to the boat and they'll eat it right when you get ready to pull it out of the water. And that's exactly what happened in this case. That's why I took my time, let him play himself out a little bit, and I was able to land that fish. And that's, you know, one of the big keys of landing that fish when it bites. That's what you get, man. You just, every once in a while, you got to change it up and pick up a shaky head.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more fishing tips, how-to videos, big fish catches, and full episodes of our Let's Fish TV show, be sure to subscribe right here to our YouTube channel. You can also like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Good fishing out there.
Oh, there's one. Oh, whew. Oh, come on. Come on, get out of that brush pile. Oh, got him out. There we go. Oh, here we go. Come on, stay buttoned up. After all that, baby. Oh, yeah, that's a nice one there. I'm going to grab that thing just because I had that thing knee deep in a brush pile, man. Ooh. There we go. Now that's a nice one on the finesse worm. That's what you get, man. You just, every once in a while, you got to change it up and pick up a shaky head. You know, we're out here on Fort Gibson Lake. Another nice bass. You know, the thing is you can't get too locked up on what you did earlier. Earlier, I caught a really nice fish on a Thunder Cricket, one on a, and a couple on a KVD 1.5, and the fishing got really slow, got tough, really tough actually. And I wasn't sure if I could get another bite. And when it got to that point, I said, you know what? I need to put my head down. I need to adjust and pay attention to conditions. Gotten pretty windy, fishing's gotten tough. What first thing comes to mind? Shaky head. 10-pound test, real light tackle, and that's what you need sometimes. And especially in the middle of the summer. The middle of the summer is some of the hardest fishing of the year. And I'll repeat that, the hardest fishing of the year, but it can be rewarding. I mean, look at the size of that fish. That's a really nice fish. Middle of summer, right in the middle of a brush pile. And that's exactly what I did. I started looking for brush. I found where an old dock had blown away, and there was a bunch of brush that was associated to where that dock was. You know, and one thing about throwing a shaky head, you got to have the right equipment. In this case, I'm throwing a Pro TI rod. This is a 7-foot medium action rod. Super, super sensitive. So my bait is down in the middle of that brush pile. I could feel it just fine. A Custom Pro reel, 10-pound Strike King tour grade braided line.
Hey friend, Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Let's Fish Outdoor Report, coming to you from Cajun Paradise right here in Hackberry. I tell you what, shooting this report right now, couple storms, eyeballing the Gulf. You're gonna be watching it after they go wherever. But currently, Lake Verret, lots of bass getting caught, few brim and white perch. Also, saltwater scene along the whole Gulf Coast has been on fire. Charlie Thomason down in Hopedale catching limits of good slot fish every day. Mike Fournette has been fishing the surf in Venice, catching lots of big bull reds. But like I said, these storms may completely change that. Biggest thing, keep an eye on the weather, keep an eye on where it hit. You might want to go fish somewhere in the other part of the state. For Old Cajun Phil, I am Captain Kevin Broussard saying happy fishing. May God bless. We're going to see you next week.
Hi, Captain Greg Verm here for this week's Texas Coastal Fishing Report. Hey, we're going to talk about a very sought after fish by anglers of all experience levels and the many ways you can catch them. Hey, if there was ever a season for redfish, we're at the beginning of it right now, from Port Mansfield all the way up to Sabine. Hey, we're approaching the start of the redfish spawn, and the catches have been incredible already. This is a great time of year to catch these fish, and the tactics to get hooked up with a brute redfish can fit any style. Hey, right now, shallow water wade fishing in the flats with soft plastics and top waters will get you hooked up. Also, live bait fishing the back lakes, bayous, and creeks from South Padre to Galveston is tough to beat. Right now, here in Galveston, we're catching good slot reds on both live shrimp under a popping cork or mullet on bottom in West Galveston Bay, San Luis Pass, and Bass Drop Bay. Now, for our non-boat owners, hey, get out on the world's largest fishing pier, the Texas City Dike, and fish the channel side with fresh crab, cut mullet, or fresh shad along the bottom for some epic bull red action. If you want to get in on the action here in Galveston or Freeport, give me a call. Check out our websites. I'm Captain Greg Verm, and I'll see you next week.
We'll be right back in just a moment. First, though, we want to pass along some of your Big Catch of the Week photos. These entries didn't win, but we still wanted to share some of the great fish catches from around the area. Be sure to stick around for this week's winner at the end of today's show. We're coming right back.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits and the original Baby Shad and new slab Huntar Minnow. Glacier Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. And by Camus Boats. Tomorrow's tournament boat today.
Golly, man. Just chunk after chunk today. That's exactly what we've dealt with. got me in the brush pile again. I don't know if I'm getting that one out. Oh, I got it. Oh, it's another nice one. That one came out of the brush pile quite a bit easier that time. The main thing with when you're fishing brush piles is you just got to keep constant pressure. A lot of times they'll swim out of the brush pile for you and you can land them. Another nice bass here. Was right dead middle in that brush pile again. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Another nice bass here from Fort Gibson. I actually think I had this one on top of the head. I do. I have these things hooked on the very top of the head, so I've got to really take my time. Oh, I got him. See, look at that. Look where he's hooked. In the top of the head. Another nice bass on the shaky head. Talk about making the right adjustment at the right time. Started out the day cranking, throwing a shallow running crankbait. Ended the day throwing a shaky head. Making that key adjustment to keep pushing and putting nice bass in the boat. You know, the anatomy of looking for fish. You know, whenever you're out here looking for fish, you got to keep an open mind. You can't get too locked up in what you've done before. I can't stress that enough. You know, we have a really pretty day today. It's pretty windy, unfortunately, but a really hot day. I think it's supposed to get 100 degrees. But these are the kind of bass that you can expect here in Fort Gibson. I'm gonna get this fish back.
Hey, Oklahoma's Lake Oologah, located about 30 miles north of Tulsa, is probably best known for its crappie fishing, but it really has all species in there, including walleye. But right now, one of the most productive species is bass. You don't only think of Oologah for bass fishing, but it's got some really good bass fishing. And what I would do there right now, the lake is one of those here in northeastern Oklahoma that has benefited the last couple of years from high water in the early season with limited access. The bass have done well, and you can concentrate in the mid-lake areas and throw one of three things and catch some fish. You can go with a LaRue bifflebug and hardhead, you can go with a square bill crankbait, and you can go with a spinnerbait. Concentrate along the areas. There's lots of rocks in that lake. There's lots of rocky structure just offshore with little humps and points and break lines. Concentrate on those and you have a lot of fun catching bass. Now, as far as the crappie noodle right now, you can catch those off that first break line out there when you hit about 10 to 12 foot depth and look for brush along those breaks. You can catch crappie in those areas and go with your chartreuse and lime color variations in the Bobby Garland baby shad. Hey, it's hot in Oklahoma. The fish are biting. You can catch them, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
Oh, it's a nice one. Oh, get out of there. Get out of there. Ooh. There we go. Take it easy, baby. Ah, that's a nice one. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Another nice bass. Talk about a way to end the day right there. Check out that fish. Another one on the little finesse worm. Golly, man. Just chunk after chunk today. That's exactly what we've dealt with. You know what? Today has been just a testament of how good Fort Gibson is. It's hot, middle of summer, but the fish are biting, and the nice ones are biting. So, started out the day throwing a KVD 1.5 and a Thunder Cricket. And you know, in the middle of summer, you can throw those moving baits, get up there a little bit shallower, and you catch those fish. But as the day wears on, as that temperature rises, and I'm telling you right now, I'm sweating profusely. It's very, very hot outside. Picked up that straight tail finesse worm on a shaky head 10-pound test Strike King line and started putting chunks in the boat. And I was fishing that around brush piles. But guys, you know what? I think that's gonna wrap up the day. I'll get this fish back.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free WAYPOINT TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder, Lose, Feel the Difference, and by Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Get our free fishing guide at orangebeach.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get right to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Malone wants to know, what is your favorite snack to eat during a tournament? For an answer, we asked Bassmaster Elite Angler Mark Menendez.
Hey, my favorite food is anything I don't have to track down or chase down. But in a boat, I have limited space. So one of the things in tournaments that I like to eat a lot of nuts and berries. It gives me a lot of energy. But that's health food. Why should I do that? I'm probably the only guy here that has a pack of these in his boat. A pack of sardinis. I love sardines. They're great tasting. And if fish aren't biting, you can use them for bait. Oh yeah, this is bait. Put it on the back of a jig, slow roll it on a spinnerbait, guaranteed you to catch some big fish. And keep your belly full.
Thank you, Mark, for those good snack ideas. If you want some help from one of the pros, simply go to letsfishtv.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question. Now it's time to find out who wins this week's Big Catch of the Week.
It's time for this week's winner in the Big Catch of the Week contest. This week's winner is Joey Lee of Odessa, Texas, with an 11-pound largemouth bass that he caught at Lake Brownwood in Texas. To enter the contest, go to letsfishtv.com and click the Big Catch box on the home page and follow the instructions. Or post your photo on any Tuesday Big Catch post on our Facebook page at facebook.com/letsfishtv.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
You know, one thing about fishing midsummer, you gotta stay versatile. Today we started out with a Strike King Thunder Cricket, 3/8 ounce in size. Actually was throwing the white blade version. Little swim bait trailer. I was throwing that on a Custom Pro speed stick. This is a Magnum Hammer. This is a 7.3 medium heavy rod. This is the perfect rod for taking that Thunder Cricket and skipping it around docks. This was 17-pound tour grade fluorocarbon. You know, I only caught one fish doing it, but you know, it was probably one of the biggest ones I caught all day. That's when I switched it up to the Pride and Joy of Strike King, the KVD 1.5. You know, the KVD 1.5 is a square bill crankbait. It's probably one of the most versatile baits that you're ever gonna fish. You can take it around the bank, offshore, anywhere that you can hit the bottom in 4 to 6 foot of water. You need to be throwing a KVD 1.5. This one was in the Tennessee Shad 2.0. It's a brand new color for Strike King. Fishing that on a square bill crankbait rod. This is the Team Lose custom speed stick and a 7.5-to-1 gear ratio hyper mag reel. I was fishing that around little rock transitions. Caught quite a few doing that, but let me tell you about what really went down is when I picked up the shaky head. I went versatile. I didn't get stuck throwing that square bill, throwing that Thunder Cricket. I picked up the shaky head when the bite got tough, started fishing it in around brush piles, around docks. Put some really nice fish in the boat, throwing that straight tail finesse worm, 1/8 ounce weight on the shaky head, a 7-foot medium action Pro TI rod with a Custom Pro 300 size reel, 10-pound Strike King braid to a 10-pound Strike King fluorocarbon leader. Let me tell you, getting that big one stuck in that brush pile and getting him out was just an exciting part of this day, and I couldn't have gotten it done without this gear. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode. I really hope you learned how to find and catch them here on Fort Gibson. Barry's back next week. Till next time, I'll see you on the water.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more fishing tips, how-to videos, big fish catches, and full episodes of our Let's Fish TV show, be sure to subscribe right here to our YouTube channel. You can also like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Good fishing out there.